Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Celtic Forever podcast. We've got John here to go through the game at the weekend against Kilmarnock. Comfortable enough 2-0 win for Celtic at Rugby Park on the plastic pitch. When I say it's comfortable, I'm talking about the scoreline. The game itself is, a bit hectic, a bit heavy, bit of a struggle. Let's bring in John. How are you, John?
I am good. I'm good. It's like they're talking about the Rugby Park pitch. It's comfortable. That nice carpet that they play on, What a nightmare that is.
Yeah,
What's missing is a three-piece suite into it and a telly.
Yeah, John, it's bad. It's really bad. But we had to play on it. We had no option because, I think you said this next season that's getting ripped up. So hopefully that's the last time we need to play on that surface, John. With any luck, if Kilmarnock don't make the top six.
Well, we could draw them in the cup, I suppose. But hopefully that is the last time we have to play on it. But job done. Job done. That's all we can say.
Yeah, we're going to get into the preview, folks, in a few minutes. But first of all, I want to go through these headlines Celtic are getting just now, John. And I want to start with Chris Boyd again, John, on Sky Sports, the national football platform for Great Britain, John. Sky Sports. Chris Boyd, John, right, talking about this tackle from Hatate on the Kilmarnock player, the one that he pulls out of, a deserved yellow card, yeah, but there's no force in the tackle. He pulls out of it. And Boyd saying, there'll be nothing said about the Hatate tackle because it's Celtic. The Muppet, John, just spent 15 minutes talking about it on national television. Where does this guy get his brain cells from? Honestly, nothing's going to be said about it. And he's just spoke about it for over 10 minutes on Sky Sports, national Sky Sports, John. This guy is really beginning to annoy me now, John, because he overlooks, the same guy overlooks 2 forearm smashes on Celtic players, John. The one on Ida, especially bad. Very, very poor forearm smash. This guy should have been sent off, John. He doesn't even mention this. Joe Wright, forearm smash. There's also another forearm tackle on Greg Taylor as well. And that's just a couple off the top of my head, John. There was all sorts of tackles against Celtic players in this game.
And there was also a kick in the head as well.
Yeah, of course there was, John. A kick in the head as well. Yeah. I totally forgot about that. But that's 3 examples then, John. But there's many, many, many more. And this idiot, and I don't mind calling this guy an idiot, Boyd, on this Sky platform, John. There'll be nothing said about it because it's Celtic. Okay, it's a late tackle. He pulls out of it, Hatate. He really does pull out of it. He's trying his hardest. He's apologising just for the slight intent that's there. But, John, the guy's pulled out of the tackle. And this Boyd, why is he not sent off? Why is he not this? Should be a 3-match suspension. This guy needs to get a grip, John, this Boyd.
No, he doesn't need to get a grip. He just needs to get off the telly and stop annoying us. He's just a cheerleader, a Rangers cheerleader. That's all he is, just a wee cheerleader. He likes to sit there and just hate on Celtic. That's what he gets paid for hating Celtic and loving Rangers. I thought pundits were supposed to be, try and be a bit more kind of level-headed when it comes to that kind of stuff. But he's spitting absolute venom and anger about that decision. And to me, Hatate's went in, he's on the ground, he's went in with his studs shown, and he's hardly even touched the player, to be honest with you. He's hardly touched him. He's brushed against his shin pad. There's no major contact or anything. And that big odd bod's rolling about like he's been poleaxed. You know what I mean? Try to get him sent off.
Yeah, John. And obviously the game's, even if he does get sent off, the game's finished anyway. It's not going to affect the result. But I just find that's totally disgusting for Chris Boyd not to bring up either one of these forearm smashes on Celtic players, and then the kick on the head as well, as you say, John, and various other heavy tackles on Celtic players throughout that game against Kilmarnock. Not that we're complaining, John, it's a heavy game. You've got to expect these things, these things happen. But to be on Sky Sports, John, Sky Sports national sports channel for the UK, and spout that nonsense about nothing's going to get said about it because it's Celtic, when he's sitting there for over 10 minutes talking about it. It's absolute nonsense. The guy should be sacked, to be honest with you, John.
But Boyd, that nothing will get said about it because it's Celtic. That's the cheeky him into it, coming for a Rangers fan.
Yeah, no, John, it's beyond laughable. The guy he shouldn't be on the telly. It's as simple as that. They need to start thinking about getting somebody else in for that Sky Sports role, John, because I'm sure there's a lot of Celtic supporters, refusing to renew their subscription because of this idiot, to be honest with you. I'm thinking about it myself, to be honest with you. And as I say, John, that brings us to the minute silence as well. Ian Crocker, John, on Sky Sports, apologising, apologising for anybody that may be offended to the disruption of the minute silence, John. Unbelievable, John. For years, we've had to go through tens of thousands of supporters from various clubs in Scotland hitting Celtic supporters with sectarian abuse. Tens of thousands of supporters, John, and not one word of apology. Look, as regards to the minute silence, whether you agree with the Celtic supporters, whether you don't, that's not what we're talking about here. As I said on the preview, John, the Kilmarnock game preview, that's personal between individual Celtic supporters. What they think, what they feel, that's up to them. That's up to me. That's up to you. That's personal. I'm talking about this apology, John, for disrupting a minute's silence. Okay, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, it doesn't matter, John. It doesn't matter. That's your personal opinion. But it's to go on national TV again, Ian Crocker, and apologise, probably on the behalf of the Rangers supporters, to be honest with you, but to apologise when there's no apology for the sectarian filth that we have to put away in every single game that we play.
Well, this is it, isn't it? They just want it all their own way. What can you do about it? About Ian Crocker, you can't do anything about it. He said it, that's it, it's done. He says that. There's nothing you can do about it. We can only give our opinion on it. I didn't agree with him saying that. He's just got to get on with the game. But he didn't. He decided to say his piece about it. And then you had, what's his name, McGregor after the game. Celtic even get to dictate when the minute's silence ends. That was more disgusting to me.
Yeah, yes. John, I said on the preview, don't give them a stick to beat the club with. And we gave them a stick to beat the club with. That's the bottom line. That's basically what's happened, John, to be honest with you. But no, the minute silence thing is a conversation apart, John. The very same game, you've got Kilmarnock fans singing their vile abuse at Celtic supporters. I'm not going to go into the words and everything else what these songs were. If you listen, you'll hear them. Where's the apology to the Celtic supporters?
No, you don't get apologies for that stuff. That's allowed. That's to abuse any Celtic fans. Sing whatever you want to Celtic fans. It's allowed. It's accepted. Nothing ever gets says about it. As soon as Celtic fans do something, no, even us Celtic fans, probably sounded like about 20 or 30 fans or something like that were singing a song through it. I mean, 99% of the Celtic fans observed the minute silence is the thing that they seem to forget. But Derek McInnes with that comment saying Celtic even get to dictate when the minute silence ends, and he thought it was absolutely disgusting. He should have kept his mouth shut as well. That's supposed to be a professional football manager coming out with comments like that.
Well, Celtic didn't get to dictate when the minute silence ended. That was the referee dictated that. He could have let that run for the full minute if he so decided to. As you say, John, 90% of the Celtic fans were silent. Some of the Celtic fans weren't. That's up to them. You just got to move on for that. You can't please everybody. But, John, this stick to beat the club with, this annual, happens every year. This annual event, that the press are rubbing their hands at. Let's be honest, John. They're rubbing their hands at the chance to beat Celtic Football Club up with. And some of the fans gave him that chance. So, John, I'm not going to go on about my personal opinion on the minute silence. That's my personal thing. I'm talking about Celtic Football Club here getting beaten to death with a Daily Record, The Sun, Sky Sports, Clyde One, BBC Radio Scotland. John, it's pathetic and I'm sick of it. This is the same Celtic Football Club, John. I'm getting annoyed now the more I talk about it. This is the same Celtic Football Club that give tens of thousands to the Poppy Appeal every single year.
Aye, but this is they don't think about it that way. That's not the way they think. If you're hurting somebody's feelings like that, then they're going to vent their anger at it. It just shows you where we shouldn't even be talking about this. I don't even want to get into it, to be honest with you. But you're right. Celtic do donate money to the Poppy Appeal, and so maybe they should look at stuff like that before they go beating us with a big stick. I don't know. There's something else I wanted to say about it before we finished up on that, but I think the only way to eradicate this, this thing happens at all these away grounds. So whoever's making up the fixtures for these games, when it comes to this Remembrance Sunday or Remembrance Day, whatever it's called, when that time comes around, why don't they make that fixture at Celtic Park and we just don't have a remembrance minute silence? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's maybe a good idea, John, but it's also unfair on the people that want to give a minute silence. So I know what you're saying. We're going to look at it for all arguments, that side of things, John, but that's no the argument here, John. That the argument is the total lack of respect to Celtic Football Club because a handful of fans don't agree with a minute silence, John. So I know what you're trying to say, try to get round it, John, but we're not going to get round it, I don't think. But that is a good idea, John. To look at the fixtures and give Celtic a home fixture, maybe give a minute's applause instead of silence. I don't know, John. I don't know what the answer to that is. But it's just disgusting the way the press has reacted to this. It really is. But let's get back to the football, John, because we're sitting top of the league again with a 2-0 win over Kilmarnock at Rugby Park. Very, very tough game. Went a very, very scrappy game, John. Not nice to watch, not nice on the eye. Kilmarnock made it stuffy, they made it tricky. We always knew they were going to do that on the plastic pitch. So we'll leave the Poppy stuff for now, John, and we'll get into the big post-match reaction to this. But right away, John, like we said at the start of the show there, John, 10 minutes in, right, John, yellow card for an elbow on Adam Ida, John. No red card, no mention of it with the commentators, John. I think Big Sutton said that he was a lucky boy, so fair enough to Big Chris Sutton, but your Ian Crocker hardly mentioned it. John, this was a disgusting attack on a Celtic player, John. Yeah, I know. I think one of the commentators said he didn't have a look up. Doesn't matter if he doesn't have a look up, John. He knows Adam Ida's there. And he smashes his elbow right into Adam's Ida face, who now misses the international break, John, with a nose injury. Disgusting. No red card. No the yellow card not overturned by VAR either, John.
Aye, the guy's he's did his chicken impersonation, isn't he? When he's jumped up, he knows Adam Ida's there, and he's forcefully threw his elbow into his face. Like I think it was Chris Sutton said, he's no looking, but he knows he's there. He's jumped up with both his arms like a chicken impersonation and threw his elbow flying into Adam Ida's nose. And if you ask me, that was totally intentional. He knew Ida was going to be jumping with that. And because the elbows were flung out with force, and Big Adam Ida gets his nose burst open. But to me, that was a straight red.
Yeah. Where was Boyd's mention of the red card there, John? Where was Boyd's mention of it will never get mentioned there. We digress, John. 25th minute, Callum McGregor shot. Decent shot for Callum. Saved about 30 yards out, pushed wide. Decent effort from the captain, John. But, the first half hour of this game, John, in fact, the full first half, if we're going to be honest, was not nice to watch, was it? It was, sometimes we couldn't string two passes together. Kilmarnock was shutting us down rapidly, 2-3 rounds, one player at a time. They never gave us any space to breathe, John Kilmarnock. So maybe a wee bit of fair play to them. They done their homework, I suppose. But we were also very wasteful, weren't we, John? We were passing. Our efforts on goal, John, it just wasn't nice to watch, was it?
I think Kilmarnock, they went for the sort of a man marking system. They were kind of just each player was picking a Celtic player up, which stopped Celtic's flow. Basically, they couldn't get passing because all the players were picked up. And I've got to say, fair play to Kilmarnock for playing that way and stopping Celtic for passing it about and getting time on the ball. Kilmarnock stopped that. It was just a horrible, horrible game to watch. It looked like a primary 5 school football game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was. Don't get me wrong, John. We were trying our hardest to, you know, break that down. We were trying our hardest, and Kilmarnock did have a shot as well, John, didn't they? Nothing each off the post. I think it was Watkins, the guy that scored the winner against Rangers. He had his shot off the post as well. But we knew there was going to be a different Celtic that would come out in the second half, John. But before the half-time whistle went, John, we got a goal. And even that was scrappy, but you'll take it all day long, John. The 4th minute of injury time, around about the 48th, 49th minute of the game. This was a cross into the box from Callum, wasn't it, for about 30 yards out, maybe. And it just bounces directly into the net. Big Adam Ida, puts the goalkeeper in two minds with his presence. He doesn't get a touch on the ball, Big Adam, but his presence is enough for the ball just to go directly into the net, John. We were taking that all day, weren't we? 1-0 Celtic, bang on half time.
Take it all day. Don't care what kind of goal it is, as long as it hits the back of that net, that's all that matters. And perfect timing, gets the goal, then it's half time basically. What a finish from Callum McGregor. I'll just say it was an amazing finish. He didn't mean to chip it to the back post. How about that?
Yeah, fair dues. And I think the game was screaming, John, and I mean screaming for Luke McCowan to come on. We needed somebody in there that was, a wee Rottweiler type player, Luke McCowan, nice passer of the ball, good shot on him, shutting down, closing down, quite physical. I was screaming out for a Luke McCowan type player, if you like, John.
I was screaming out for Engels to get took off. I just thought he was doing nothing in that game. But then again,
yeah,
when I'm thinking about it, there wasn't many players actually did anything in that game, to be honest with you. It was a battle. They were getting man-marked. So it was tough for Celtic to play their usual way. But I think Luke McCown maybe I don't know if it would have made a huge difference bringing him on, to be honest with you, the way Kilmarnock were set up. I think they were set up just to, man-mark Celtic and try and stop them from scoring. And they did that well. They could have scored a few goals, Kilmarnock.
Yeah, John. Yeah, definitely. That one off the post especially. Could have found ourselves behind in this one. But no, we get into the second half then, John. But Big Adam, he didn't have his best game either, did he, the big man? He's through in goal, a heavy touch, John. Um, yeah, but the big man he just wasn't at the races, the same as maybe quite a few other Celtic players, John. But he's through in goal, heavy touch. It's mopped up with the defence. And then we've got the Kuhn miss, John, as well. The Kuhn, it's just the goalkeeper to beat. Some nice play before it, but just to keep it to beat John, and he hits it right at the goalkeeper, Nicolas Kuhn. What was your thoughts at this point, 60th minute?
Same as every Celtic fan, I suppose. Just why? Why?
Yeah. It's, after a wonder goal against Leipzig in midweek, he's only got the keeper to beat left, right. Take your pick. It's a 2-0 and hits it right at their goalkeeper, John. So I suppose anybody can miss. Nicolas is due a few misses, John, because the season's had so far. So we will allow him that one. But 5 minutes later, John, Kilmarnock nearly equalise again. And it's Matty Kennedy who pulls out a very decent save from Kasper Schmeichel. John Schmeichel had a brilliant game. But we're just running through the main points of the game, really, John. But this was an outstanding save from Kasper Schmeichel, John, from Matty Kennedy. 65th minute, keeps it at 1-0 Celtic.
Aye, great save. He had a few great saves yesterday, big Kasper. Kasper.
Yeah.
Aye, good save. Aye. Pulled off a few good saves yesterday, Kasper Schmeichel. So aye, all kudos to him. I definitely kept us in the games, Zander.
Yeah, it's definitely kept us in the game without doubt, because 5 minutes later we go 2-0 up, John, and it's a lovely wee ball over the top from Alistair Johnson, who was quiet, let's be honest. But he plays this lovely ball over the top, John, right through to Nicolas Kuhn on the wing, who's got a lot of work to do at this point, John. He takes it round a few, runs into the box, rides the tackle inside the box as well. And what another stunning finish from Nicolas Kuhn, John. What a beautiful wee goal you had. I think it was Hatate and Kyogo waiting for the tap in, wasn't it? Anyway, John, he doesn't. He knocks it into the net, curls it round there. Goalkeeper, 2-0 Celtic. Everybody can relax. 71st minute. The game's in the bag. What a finish for Nicolas, John.
That was a stunning finish. Aye, a lot of curl in the ball, just curled it right beyond the keeper into the back post there. Aye, that was me relaxed at that moment, because that whole game I was tensed up all the way through it, because it was very, very uncomfortable. They were fighting hard, man marking, and when they were winning the ball back, they were getting attacks and creating chances, Kilmarnock. Plus they were first to, every second ball, Kilmarnock were winning them. I think Kilmarnock were the better team yesterday, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, they could find themselves lucky not to take anything from the game, but John, that's just the total mark of champions to come out of Rugby Park with the 3 points. It really is. Didn't play our best. Maybe a wee European hangover there. Who knows? Doesn't matter. We get the 3 points. We'll move on, John. But before we move on, he's got some left foot, Nicolas.
Aye, it certainly has. That was a sweet finish. He scores a lot of goals like that, didn't he? Nice wee curled efforts. He is a top player, and he's getting better and better by the game. Okay, yesterday he couldn't show his best because there was no space whatsoever to show your best. But when they had the chance, he missed one, and then he set one. He's tucked it away beautifully, and that's the mark of a top class player. Xander, I missed one. I'm no missing this one. In you go. And he evades a couple of challenges into the bargain.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's quite strong. We said at the start of the season, it looks as though he's bulked up. That was before the ball was kicked, and by golly, he's bulked up. The strength of him inside the box there, John, and the finish, lovely. All right, subs: Ida off, Kyogo on, Bernardo on, Engels off. Alistair Johnson comes off for Ralston as well. Okay, this yellow card, John, for Rio Hatate goes to VAR. They stick with their decision. The guy. He's went in late, yeah, fair enough. He's went in high, yeah, fair enough. But there's no force whatsoever. It's a very light tackle. He pulls his leg away just in time, thank God, because he might have got sent off for that, John. What's your opinion on it, John? Should you think he should have been sent off? For me, it's a yellow card all day. Muppet head Boyd screaming for reds. It will never get mentioned because it's Celtic. What a clown this guy is. But definitely not a red card from me, John.
No, it's not a red. It's nowhere near a red. I mean, if I was to reverse that, and it happened to a Celtic player, and I seen the replay of the player pulling his leg away from it, I wouldn't be shouting for a red. I'd say, nah, it's not a red. He's no went into his shin. He's pulled his leg away from his shin. There's no contact really. Maybe a head hair worth of contact. He's brushed his sock, basically. That's it. He's brushed his sock, and there's no heavy contact around. He's pulling his leg away. So, no, it's never a red. But Boy's just an idiot. We know he's an idiot. Every Celtic fan alive right now knows that Chris Boyd is an idiot. He shouldn't be on the TV. He shouldn't be anywhere near a TV or a radio or anything like that. Because why does he not just show up there with a Rangers strip on? And one of the wee rattles used to take to the games in the 1940s or 50s, whatever it was. The wee spinny rattles, men used to see the fans with them.
Yeah.
That's what he should be doing. He should be sitting there with a wee rattle, a wee red, white and blue hat, a Rangers top, a Rangers scarf, and a picture of a flag of King Billy wrapped around him.
Yeah, and 40th missing. Yeah, you're right, John. So I think Sky have got to get that sorted to really have, put him on something else, put him down to the first division down in England or something, because it's absolutely useless up here. His knowledge of Scottish football is practically zero, John. So Rio comes off, John. McCowan comes on. McCowan comes on with, I don't know, about 10 minutes to go, possibly. That's including injury time. And the wee man Rio, he comes off because he's on a yellow card. Dyson also gets booked, John, right at the full time, 90th minute, a yellow for Dyson Meader, just a brush, nothing more than a brush against a Kilmarnock player, and he gets a yellow card when there's forearm smashes flying everywhere, John, and boots in the heads, Dyson gets a yellow card for a brush against a Kilmarnock player. So that's it, John. Full time. 2-0 to Celtic. We take the 3 points. We move on. We go into this international break. Top of the league, Aberdeen in second. Rangers in third, 9 points behind both Celtic and Aberdeen. It's just a fantastic position to be in just now, John.
Aye, but we still can't shake off Aberdeen. That's the worrying thing, isn't it? Still can't shake them off. Well, there's no worrying, but excuse me. But I think we'll pull away for them eventually. But I think big Simon Murray missed that penalty on Saturday. I was raging with that. How a professional football player can miss a penalty like that, hits it right at the keeper. Because if Dundee score that goal and go 1-0 up, I think that's a totally different game. But you're right. Look, we're back on the top of the league where we belong. And Aberdeen's got 3 away games coming up next.
Yeah, 3 tough away games. St Mirren's up next for them, away from home. Rangers have yet another home game against, I think they played Dundee United at Ibrox, and we're obviously away to Hearts, John. Let's have a wee quick word on the Rivals Corner just now then, John, because you've already mentioned Aberdeen there, John. We can't shake them off quite yet, I suppose, quite yet. But they're doing really well. That was a comprehensive second half performance against Dundee. Although Dundee, it would have been a different game if they'd have scored that penalty. But they're up there, John. They're 9 points ahead of their nearest challengers, Rangers. They're flying to this stage, John. Okay, we put them to the sword in the semi-final. But, they dusted themselves down, John, and they got that very, very convincing second half performance against Dundee.
Dundee folded after they missed that penalty. I watched that game. Dundee just collapsed after that, after Murray missed that penalty. Because Dundee were playing them off the park. They were creating all sorts of stuff. Playing them off the park. They get the penalty that was deserved. And he hits it right at the keeper. Pathetic. And that gives Aberdeen a lift, and Dundee's heads go down after that.
Yeah, that's it, John. As soon as I heard they'd missed that penalty, bang on half time, remember? They would have went into the dressing room at half time, 1-0 up at Pittodrie, Dundee. But yeah, as soon as I heard that, I knew Aberdeen were going to win the game. So that's exactly what happened. And as I say, Aberdeen up against St Mirren next when we return after the international break. Let's take a wee look at our Glasgow rivals, sitting third in the league, John. 2 games in a row now. The team they've played at Ibrox has been denied a Stonewall penalty, John. Stonewaller against Hibs last time at Ibrox, and a Stonewaller on Sunday against Hearts at Ibrox, John. So I'll explain this one to you. I don't know if you saw it or not. The Rangers defender goes to clear the ball with his back. He back heels the ball, and he back heels the ball off of his arm that is outstretched inside the box. This is at 1-0, remember, with 2 minutes to go. Hearts were all over Rangers anyway, John, but that's besides the point. But I think it was the big ex-Hearts man, in fact, that done it. He back heels the ball. The ball ricochets off his arm inside the box with his arm outstretched, John, and it doesn't even go to VAR. VAR don't even look at it.
I wouldn't expect him to look at it. There's Chris Boyd going on about what happened with Hatate, raging about what happened with Hatate. And then you see things like that. Boyd's talk about because it's Celtic. Well, there's an incident right there. Is that because it's Rangers? You know what I mean? Deliberate handball. And VAR don't even look at it. Are you thinking about that, Boyd? Do you ever think about things like that?
No, John, it's pathetic. I mean, we're getting this guy airtime. I know we shouldn't, but the more we highlight this, the better, because maybe more and more people will cut their subscription to Sky, because this guy is just an absolute idiot. He's not even a cheerleader, John. He's just an idiot. The guy's just a fool, an absolute fool with no knowledge of Scottish football. And he's no knowledge of Rangers either, to be honest with you. The guy's just no knowledge. All right, John. So that's 2 games in a row, as I say, John, but they're in a bad way. So long may that continue. That's enough rivals corner, John. Let's get back to the game against Kilmarnock. Individual player scoring, John. Individual. This is tough this week because there was a few that went into their shell a wee bit, I would say. Albeit we got the clean sheet, they didn't score a goal against us. But that was all down to Kasper, wasn't it? His tremendous saves and them hitting the post. But no, John. I think it's going to be tough to give individual scores because there was a few that never really turned up. It's allowed. You're just off the back of a massive European victory at Celtic Park, John. A lot of effort was put into that game, so I looked as though a few of the players were maybe a wee bit tired.
Quite possibly. I mean, I don't know. We got the victory at the end of the day. That's all that matters. So it wasn't a great performance, but that was a lot of that was down to Kilmarnock fighting for everything. So you can't expect to play silky football every single game, but I'll get into the markings what I thought anyway. I thought Kasper Schmeichel gets a 9 for me. I thought he was outstanding. Scales, we'll give him a 6.
Yeah.
Trusty, thought he was maybe slightly better. Give him a 7. Had a couple of mistakes as well, right enough. Now I'll give him a 6 as well. He had a couple of mistakes. Alistair Johnson, quiet game for him, 5. Greg Taylor, quiet game, got bullied a wee bit, 5 for him. Centre of the park, Callum McGregor started to grow as the game went on, I think. When Kilmarnock started to tire, I'll give him a 6.5. Rio Hatate kept giving the ball away. I was really getting angry at him at some times in that game. Give him a 5.5. He was okay in flashes as well, though. So I'll give him a 5.5. Engels 4. Thought he didn't show up at all. Dyson Maeda, give him a 5. Okay in spells. Adam Ida 4. Never done anything at all. And Nicolas Kuhn on the other side, 7.
Aye. Yeah, it's tough to score, isn't it, John? When you're off the back of a 2-0 win and the players aren't getting their usual 8s and 9s. But that was the kind of performance it was. It really was stuffy. It really was sticky. The park looked dry as well. No rain. No. If you're going to be playing at Rugby Park on that plastic pitch, you need rain. You really do. And it looked very dry. The bounce of the ball was everywhere. It really was. I'll quickly run through mine, John. I've big Kasper Schmeichel. Yeah, he gets an 8 for me. Alistair, because of his assist, I'll give him a 7. 2 centre backs both get a 7. That's Scales and Trusty. Taylor gets a 5.5. John, I thought I thought he was quiet. I thought he was bullied a wee bit, as you say. The ball kept going down to his side, and he kept losing it. So yeah, I don't know what was wrong with wee Greg. He normally does a wee bit better. It's just a team thing, wasn't it, on Sunday? Saturday, sorry. Callum thought he was okay. He got his goal. He got his. He's tried his best in midfield. He stopped a lot of tackles, a lot of attacks from them as well, John. So he gets a 7 for me. Rio 5, Engels 4, Maeda 6.5. Thought he was okay. But at one point in the game, he looked a wee bit tired. I thought, Dyson. Big Adam Maeda, yeah, 4, John, 4.5 possibly because he got in the goalkeeper's road with the goal, didn't he? The Callum McGregor cross. He was there to get in the way of the goalkeeper. If the goalkeeper didn't know what to do there, didn't know what there to stop the ball or go for the save, or because Big Adam put him off. So yeah, I'll give him a 5, right? And Kuhn 8 as well, John. So that's my scorings.
I like to step up there for a 4 to a 4.5 to a 5.
Yeah, I done okay. I think the first 10 minutes, John, with that, forearm smash, maybe put him off. I don't know, John. I don't know. But he done his bit for the goal anyway. The first goal, he put the goalkeeper off, didn't he? So yeah, we'll give him a 5. Give him a 5.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, man of the match, Red. What are you thinking?
Now this is tough. It has to be Kasper Schmeichel. He kept us in it 3 or 4 times, so there's no doubt in my mind it's Kasper. Says it again, Kasper.
Yeah, Kasper. I mean, we said, John, before he even caught a ball, if you like, we said he was going to make the difference this season, and so far in the Champions League and in the league, John, he's made the difference. So what a brilliant signing Kasper has been for us. My man in the match as well. Obviously, he kept us in the game, as you said, with some outstanding saves, John, outstanding saves, and he's just a massive presence in the goals for us. All right, John, we've done man of the match. We've gave our scorings as well. We're into this international break. We return on the 23rd of November to play Hearts away at Tynecastle, John, another away game for us. Very, very tough, isn't it, John, all these away games? But we seem to get all these back-to-back away games when the season is at its, hardest, stage, when the teams are taking points off each other, it's very difficult in the winter, We've got these back-to-back away games, John. So I'm sure we'll be okay. We'll always raise a game for Tynecastle. We'll obviously talk about that a wee bit more nearer the time. But it is a couple of weeks away, John. So let's get into some of the other stuff that's happening then, John. Scotland, obviously, I've got a couple of games coming up. Croatia on Friday. We've got Poland on Monday. Croatia's at Hampden. Poland's away in Poland, obviously. We've got, sorry, John, we've got various players away on international duty. Big Adam Leaders had to pull out, as I said earlier. So maybe that's a bonus. Maybe that's a blessing in disguise. But Big Ralston's away. Scales away. Sinisalo's away with Finland. Schmeichel's away. Hatati's away. Maida's away. Kyogo's away. Well, John, we didn't mention that. Kyogo getting a call up for Japan.
Aye, it'd be good to see. I'll not be watching any international stuff. I don't think. Like, I probably will by the time it comes around, but I can't stand it now. I'm like you, Xander. I'm starting to get right after this international break stuff. But look, good luck to Kyogo getting his start for Japan. I hope he does well. I just hope they all come back injury free, as always.
Yeah, you look at John Hatati, Maida, and Kyogo. Three of our main players in that team. We do not want any of the three lads getting injured. We want the three back fit and ready for Hearts, John. Engels, he's away with Belgium. Trusty, he's away with America. And Bernardo, he's away with under 21 Portugal team, John. I don't know about Big Carter Vickers. I don't know if he's away yet. I didn't read anything about that. Because I know he's injured just now, isn't he? Again, the big man needs to get his injuries sorted out. He really does. But I think he's staying, John. I don't think he's going away with the USA. And there's a few others away on under 21s as well, John. Sort of a side players, if you like, players that don't get much of a game. All right, that wraps up the international stuff then, John. That's good luck to everybody that's away in international duty for Celtic. Just come back injury-free. We say the same thing every time, John. We want these guys just to come back injury-free and ready for the Hearts game.
Aye, that's it. That's all I'm interested in. No interested in what the results are for any nation. I don't really care. Although I'd like all the guys that play for Celtic, I'd like them to have success with their nations. But me personally, I'll not be watching any. Probably watch the Scotland games and that's it, Xander. But no, I just hope they all come back injury free.
Yeah, injury free. That's it, John, and ready for Hearts. Maybe this wee break will do us the world of good, John, because as Brendan says, when we come back from international, we're sort of moving into the festive time, John. Very busy schedule for Celtic. Games midweek, games weekends, right through until January, John. So a very busy schedule coming up once we return from the international break. So hopefully, John, some of these players don't get picked, and they can get a good rest and get ready for this busy schedule coming up. I take a wee breath, John. Comments, John. We didn't do the comments on the last video. If you want to run through some comments, my man.
Aye. Let me get my reading specs on that. So, where are we? So first up was San Fran Celtic. San Fran Celtic just says, cheers, lads. Thanks for that, San Fran.
Yeah, I've seen San Fran there, John. Welcome, San Fran. I think he was on a wee while ago. He's back again. He or she's back again. And he left a few comments there for San Fran. So, yeah, welcome, San Fran. Keep the comments coming, pal.
Thanks. And Roseanne was up next and she says, I'm hoping for a good game on Sunday. I hope our boys are well recovered from their brilliant game on Tuesday. And Roseanne was going for 3-0.
Yeah, John, I didn't even mention the competition. Roseanne always reminds me She always reminds me to mention the competition. Nobody won again, John. That's now 4 weeks. Nobody's won the prize. A few correct scores, but nobody got a goal scorer, John. So you got to get both now, folks. So keep the guesses coming in. We'll do a competition for the Hearts game probably next week because it's a bit early just now. But John, nobody's getting the competition correct. Roseanne was unlucky with her 3. We did have a couple of chances to make it 3, obviously. But no, 2-0. We'll take it all day.
I take that all day. You better believe it. Do you think Brendan took the players off too early when he made the subs? I was thinking if he'd have kept the players on, we might have went on to get a third or a fourth.
Aye. You know what, John? I didn't say it, but I also thought the same thing against Leipzig as well. We were flying when he made the subs. We were absolutely flying. But luckily for us, the subs that came on, put in just as good an effort, just as good as a performance. I digress, John. Back to the Kilmarnock game. Yeah, John, we could have pushed on for more. He didn't need to take the players off. International break coming up, John. There's no football for 2 weeks. So, yeah, he could have kept it on a wee bit longer. But it doesn't matter, John. It doesn't matter. The 3 points was all that mattered at the end of the day.
That matters to me. I'd have loved to see another couple of goals in just to sicken McInnes after what he says at the end of the game,
Yeah.
But no, look, that didn't happen, so there's no point going on about it. But I just think if we would have kept the same players on for another 10 minutes, even, I think we might have bagged another goals under.
Yeah, John, I also had 3-0 in my correct score, so I needed one more as well, same as Roseanne. So both Roseanne and myself. Maybe if I kept the players on, John, as you said, might have got that right.
I think we would have easily scored another couple of goals had they kept the full team on to the end, because Kilmarnock were rocking by that point. That was it, game over.
Yeah, Kilmarnock put in all their effort, John, in the first half. That's what I think happened. Albeit the first 10-15 minutes of the second, they were the same, but they began to tire, didn't they? Because they put a lot in. Kilmarnock, they put an awful lot into that game. So, yeah, I agree with John. Another couple of goals quite comfortably, I think, if we'd have kept the team on for another 10-15 minutes.
Definitely. They definitely put a lot into that game. Headers, elbows, knees, brutal tackles. If you count that as putting a lot in, then they put that much in. Their gameplay was
John,
all right.
I also said earlier.
I was going to say their gameplay was all right as well.
Earlier, so. No, they were just dogged. That was all. That's all they had. No actual football talent. They missed that boy Armstrong. I think, John, he's a decent player for them. He must have been put up late on the training field or something, John, because he wasn't announced as unavailable for the game the day before. So I also said earlier, John, that the game was on Saturday. It was obviously on Sunday, wasn't it?
Oh, you say Sunday first, and then you say, no, sorry, Saturday.
Sorry. Yeah, mixed up with my days.
Anyway, let's move on for that. Thanks for that, Roseanne.
Yeah, thanks, Roseanne.
Always good to hear from you, Roseanne. And we would never sell our club says a must-win game today after Aberdeen winning yesterday, and it will be interesting who will partner skills at the centre back. Well, that's what we discussed before the game. I wonder who would be playing up front. Who would be playing in defence? I definitely thought it would be Vickers and Trusty, and you thought it would be. Who did you think it would be? Scales and Vickers?
I said Scales and Trusty, John, but I didn't know that Vickers was injured again as well, to be honest with you. So it was 50-50. But if we would have known Vickers was injured, obviously, both of us would have said Trusty and Scales, So that was a funny one with Vickers, wasn't it? No available for the game.
Aye, but there you go. He never played anybody. The rest of the comment was it's reported that Trusty and Vickers won't be playing, but we will still be strong enough to get the 3 points and head into the dreaded international break back on top of the table. I'm glad to hear that you think the same way we do about the international break. We would never sell our club. The dreaded international break.
It's dreaded, John. It really is. You look at it for the other side of the city as well, John. They're flapping on their knees, and they get yet another 2 week, chance to turn things around. Although I don't think they will ever turn things around over there, to be honest with you. But anyway, we digress. It's just something we need to put up with, John. That there's more and more of these international breaks because the Nations League into it. So because this Nations League, John, there's going to be an extra 2 or 3 international breaks a season. We just need to put up with that.
Aye, a lot of garbage, lot of absolute garbage. I'm sick of the sight of it, to be honest with you. We only want to look after Celtic's interests. We don't want players going away in these breaks and getting injured and all that stuff. Maybe that's a selfish thing, but we're allowed to be selfish. Celtic fans, we don't want our players getting injured. We don't want our run of form. We don't want that flow getting interrupted. And that's exactly what's happening. We're worrying about the flow getting interrupted and our players getting injured. That's why I don't like it.
No, it's just it's a hindrance, John. That's what it is.
Aye, an absolute nonsense, and I can't stand it. Thanks for that. We would never sell a club.
Yeah, cheers.
San Fran was up again. San Fran says, I'm worried about Kuhn on that plastic. Aye, we're worried about every player on that plastic, San Fran.
It wasn't the plastic that was the problem, though, was it? It was the animalistic tackles, elbows, boots in the face, John. But we're sort of used to it at the same time, John, because this goes unpunished, and as Chris Boyd says, unmentioned every single week when it comes to Celtic, John, because we go through these heavy tackles against Celtic players in just about every single game. So we're used to it, John. The plastic wasn't the problem. The plastic was fine, although it was dry, bobbly and bouncy. We couldn't control the ball half the game. But apart from that, John, it was the tackles that was going on Celtic players. Adam Reader, he's missing for Ireland now because of these heavy tackles and assaults on Celtic players, John.
I can't believe Boyd actually thinks Celtic get any favouritism for referees. What Celtic games is he watching?
Yeah, we went through that, John. We went through that muppet enough, to be honest with you. He's, as you say, blue tinted specs doesn't even cover it with that, is it, to be honest with you? But you're forced to listen to it because you're watching the game on Sky Sports. You're forced to listen to it. It'll not get mentioned. That's what's stuck in my throat, John. It'll not get mentioned because it's Celtic and he's getting away with comments like that.
Aye. I've says all we can about Chris Boyd. The guy's just pathetic. I just can't believe he's actually got a job on the telly. It's hard to believe he's actually got a job on the telly. I can't work out when he's sat down with Sky and they've looked at him and listened to him and says, you're our man. You're the man for Scottish football. You are the voice of Scottish football and you would suit us down to the ground. You are the man. Sign here. You've got a job. Who actually sat there and gave him that job?
Jim White, probably. Anyway. So, I would day, John, it's just game the Rangers games. That's the best way to settle it. Game the Rangers games, let him spout his nonsense over there, then nobody from Celtic needs to listen to it. So that's the only way to sort that, but that's not going to happen, is it?
No. Anyway, let's move on for Boyd Zanderberg. Give him enough airtime. I hope you're listening to it, Boyd, because you know what I think about you, and it's a lot worse than what I've said, trust me.
Yeah, and I'm the same, John, and I'm sure everybody listening to this and watching this is the same. We move on, don't we?
Totally brainless. James Doran was up next. I'm not calling you brainless, by the way, James. Just kind of it led into your name for some reason. But, anyway, James the boy was up next. James says, just heard that Trusty and Vickers missed training and will miss the game today. Didn't I just read that? So we will have to wait and see. Now, you're right with that, James.
He was right, John. He was right because the Vickers thing was a mystery to me, and I don't know about the Trusty thing. I mean, was Trusty forced to play? I don't know. Maybe James knows something we don't. But yeah, good call there. Good call for James Doran.
Aye. Do you think we missed Vickers on Sunday?
It's a tough one, isn't it, John? I don't know if we missed him. He might have mopped up a wee bit more than what the two lads did. I think Big Scales had probably one of his poorer games for us. We always rave about Big Scales, didn't we? Although he was still decent, he did flap a few times, didn't he? And Big Trusty, he's back over at the other side of the centres. centre of defence, John. He's more settled in the left, and he's back over to the right. You could see the difference, John, when he moved back over.
Aye, exactly. It's just it makes me feel uncomfortable when I see Trusty playing at the right of centre defence. But when he plays on the left central defence, I think he's an outstanding defender. But I think we missed Vickers on Sunday. I think we missed him a lot, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I think we missed him as regards to Trusty and playing out of position. Well, he's in centre half, isn't he, John? But he's playing on the right side of centre half instead of the left. We noticed it and we missed him because of that, John. I would say definitely. Aye.
Anyway, thanks for that, James. I think we missed Vickers. Anyway, moving on. Peter Hendry was up next, and he says a lot of comments from last night seem to have disappeared.
Yeah, we went with the premiere on the last podcast, John, which is basically live. It's just the same as live, only it's a recording that's live, if you know what I mean. So you can comment on it. Everybody can have their chat and discussions on it. But once that video is taken off of the live premiere, John, then all the comments disappear. So that's what happened to them, Peter.
There you go. Thanks for that. Peter Sanfran says 5-1 Celtic. I thought a comfortable scoreline as well, but that wasn't to be.
Yeah, competition. Let's have a wee touch on that, John. Put it on Facebook this week. There was a lot of 4-0s, 5-0s, 5-1, 6. Everybody thought the same, John. It wasn't just Peter. It wasn't just you. Even I said 3-0, John. So it was just one of the games that, you know, score a goal, you walk away with 3 points. We're happy. You know, it was never ever going to be a 4-5-6, John. No with the way the game panned out. You know, Celtic's lacklustre, I would say. You know, Kilmarnock up for the battle. You know, but our talented players they overcame it. They got the 2 goals and we move on. But yeah, not everybody, but a lot of people did have high scores for this one, John.
Aye, exactly. Well, Kilmarnock won the fight, but they lost the battle.
Yeah.
That's the way of looking at it, isn't it?
A perfect way of putting it, John. Yeah.
Where else are we? Where are we up to? Kev McKenna thought 3-1. Unlucky, Kevin. Thanks for the comment. Roseanne says, she says, oh, that's right. Maybe they'll bring on other players to give the boys a rest. And I'll say, look, McCowan again. I don't know what she's talking about. For the score, maybe.
Yeah. She didn't give us a goal scorer, John. So she went for McCowan. She was unlucky, 3-1. It could have been 3-0. Sorry, it could have been 3-0. You know, we did have other chances, but as I said, John, doesn't matter. Unlucky, Roseanne. Keep your comments coming in and keep entering the competition, folks, as well.
Oh, that's it. And like I says, I think if Brendan would have kept the subs on the bench for another 10 minutes, I think we'd have maybe bagged another goal. So who knows? It never happened, so we kind of talk about it. Thanks for that, Roseanne. Mad About Football says Spennymoor Evermore. Yeah,
it was a case of just doing enough against Kilmarnock, John. I think that's what Brendan was the way he was looking at it. Spennymoor Evermore, yeah. Spennymoor, John, that was the biggest defeat of the week, wasn't it? The Spennymoor get that title, the crown. So Spennymoor Evermore, yeah, well said.
Aye, Spennymoor someplace. It's near Durham. It's quite near Durham.
Is that Durham? Durham.
Aye. Dun.
Yeah, Spennymoor, John, 12-0. Maybe next year for the FA Cup for the Spennymoor ladies, John.
Spennymoor Evermore, aye. Good luck to the Spennymoor ladies for the future.
Yeah, all the best.
That's a lot of nonsense. Ted Trainer says, left for the money, goodbye. He's talking about Mattarelli. Well, does every player know leave for money?
Yeah, that's my reply to the comment was exactly what you said there, John. I said 98% of Celtic players that leave the club leave for money. The guy just got, a career-ending tackle, John. You've got to wish the guy all the best. He's also made his tens of millions of pounds, and we also get a selling fee, I think, as well. If he goes to a bigger club, then we get a percentage of that fee as well. So the guy's done his wonders there, John, and we're just wishing him all the best because he's back. He's recovered. He's back playing football. And did he not score the winner against Man City as well at the weekend?
He certainly did, aye. Bagged the winner against Man City. Look, I will always wish players like Matt O'Reilly. He came here for 3 years. He did a great job for us. He didn't leave halfway through our season or anything. He was loyal to Celtic. He was happy while he was there. He gave his all. He left. He made his 20 odd million and left us with a lot of good memories, great goals, great player. So players like that, wish him all the best. Why wouldn't you?
Of course, John. The boy's entitled to that opinion, I suppose. He maybe he's just very upset about him leaving Celtic. You know, that's fair enough. You know, we were all upset when he left, but you know, we move on. The players leave Celtic, players will join Celtic, John. It doesn't matter. We move on no matter what the circumstances are. That is upsetting at the time, but we've got over Matt leaving and we just want to wish him all the best.
I definitely 100% agree with you. Matt O'Reilly just we're all heartbroken when he left. We know he was a great player. I think we still miss him at Celtic. But you've got to think that what he done over the 3 years for us, he done his wonders for Celtic over the 3 years he was there. And he also went for a substantial fee as well. So you can't complain with that, Ted, surely. You've got to wish the boy all the best.
Yeah, I think maybe he's just thinking what you said there, John. We're still missing him. You know, we missed that. You know, okay, Engels, he's going to come good eventually, right? He is still a decent player, Engels. He does a lot of good stuff, a lot of nice stuff. He can score a penalty, can take a corner, although his corners, even the last couple of games, have not been great. But he'll come good, John. Engels will come good. We just missed that free-flowing scoring ability and the passing, even the tackling, John, no matter really. He was just an all-round player for us. But he's no longer our player. We've got to now rely on Arnie to do the bizzle, and we're still flying, John. We're well clear of Rangers at the top of the league. We're into another cup final. We're doing brilliant in Europe, so he's not doing too badly, is he?
No, I'm happy that with everything's gone for Celtic right now. It's like you say, we're top of the league. We haven't lost a league game yet. Doing well in Europe, like you says. We're in the cup final, like you says. Celtic flying. We can have 2 weeks rest from the game and just hope all the players can come back injury free. That's all I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
And that's it. They're talking about Matt O'Reilly. We miss him. And I can only wish him all the best because of what he's done for Celtic and because the fee that Celtic got in return from Xander, would they pay from? Was it 3 million or something like that?
Yeah. Was it Milton Keynes Dons, John? Was it?
Something like that, I can't remember, but it was obviously Celtic didn't pay much for him and they made a fortune on him and had three great years out of him. So you're going to wish the boy all the best, you know. He speaks highly of Celtic, he still loves Celtic. And all the best to him.
Yeah, definitely, John. I think 99% of the Celtic fans would wish Matt O'Reilly all the best, John. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. But there isn't really many comments. But I did read a comment. I don't know if you deleted it or YouTube deleted it. Some guys saying, "What you talking about Rangers for us is a Celtic podcast." Well, we can talk about whatever we want, mate. It's simple as that.
Yeah, John, I deleted that. Do you know something? I just couldn't even be annoyed answering it. There you go, John. That's why I deleted it. See, when I can't be annoyed, I just delete them.
Oh no, you've got to name and shame these people. They talk things like that. If you're worried about or reading, I mention Rangers every now and again in a podcast, go and listen to another podcast because we can talk about whatever we like. Every single podcast, from my memory, mentions Rangers. Every single podcast. So why are you coming on here and having a go at us?
Yeah, John, if I were just talking about Celtic, there was nothing to talk about because we play other teams. The bottom line is we play other teams. So we're going to talk about other teams. That's the bottom line. John, move on to the next one.
The bottom line is we can speak about whatever we want, Xander. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
No rules that says you can't talk about other stuff. I mean, what did you have for your dinner last night, Xander? Is somebody going to complain about that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. No, it's just a nonsense comment, John. That's why it was deleted.
I
wish we could do the same with Chris Boyd.
Aye, but
a nonsense commenter, just delete him.
Aye. I'll just finish up with the last comment. I'd love to delete Chris Boyd. That would be great, wouldn't it? Aye, just what about if Sky invented an interaction thing? Delete on the screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Press OK button, delete, and you don't see or hear him. He just disappears.
Wishful thinking, eh? Because he's going to be there for a long time, John. We need to put up with it, I'm afraid.
Guy's a nightmare, isn't he? Anyway, thanks for your comment, Ted.
Cheers, Ted.
Anyway, where are we? The last comment goes to One Club since 1888. Just saw your video on Facebook has over 200,000 views. The Leipzig video, and you don't even mention it. You're wasting your time with a podcast on YouTube. Get over to Facebook with those numbers. Well, and he says we're very humble and famous. No kidding. Well done. Amazing. Well, famous not, humble aye. Facebook I can't stand. Xander's got a great page here there with loads of videos. No, that me personally, I don't like it. But I do get to watch the videos and stuff, Xander's videos. And the videos, they are 1,000 times better on YouTube. Facebook. The podcast is better on Facebook, and so do all the videos. Facebook's quite successful for this podcast.
Aye, well, it's. I mean, you think about the Facebook thing, John. We only started it 6 months ago, and it's there's more subscribers on Facebook now than there is on YouTube. So they've got to look at it that way as well, John. We're doing really well over there, but we're in the main a YouTube podcast, John. So we're sticking with YouTube for the time being. And the things are picking up over here as well, John. You know, that last video, nearly 1,000 views for a Kilmarnock preview. It's not doing too bad, is it?
No, that's okay. I mean, anything I watch is on YouTube, but it's good for publicising your videos because it seems to get a hell of a lot more attention than YouTube does.
You know, they do like it, John. You know, they're not coming over to, well, not all of them, they're not coming over to YouTube to watch the videos. They're watching the link, if you know what I mean. I always put a link on Facebook and you can click that and watch the video from YouTube. So yeah, it's doing well both sides, John. Let's be honest. 200,000 views. Yeah, don't really mention it, John, because you know it's just something that I do as a pastime. You know, putting videos on Facebook. It really is. It's just a pastime. The main thing is the podcast for us. We just want to see the podcast picking up a wee bit better.
Aye, on YouTube. I'd like to see it doing a wee bit better on YouTube, but that is what it is. You know, you can only just accept it for what it is. Anyway, last comment, Kevin McKenna thought 3-1. I don't know if I already read that out, but thanks for that.
Yeah, cheers, Kevin. Keep the guesses coming in, pal. All right, just one more wee bit, John, before we call it a day. Beerschot 2, Bruges 2. That was who were up next in the Champions League, so they had a 2 each draw away from home against Beerschot. Never heard of them, John. So 2 each draw for Bruges anyway. Yeah, I just promised everybody that I would keep an eye on Bruges up until we play them. Interesting conversation in the day. You know, a wee bit annoyed earlier on. You know, Sky Sports, John, apologising. I mean, what next? You know, tens of thousands of supporters screaming anti-Catholic bile with no apology whatsoever for years, decades, John. And then a couple of Celtic supporters boo. You know, a minute's silence, which isn't nice, right? Let's be honest, it's not nice to do it. But, you know, for the TV channel to come out on air and apologise for that is pathetic, John. Thanks for coming on, John. You any wee comments you want to add before we call it a
day? Just that I'm happy with everything the way it went this weekend. That's all I can say. I mean, it's a hard-fought game. 3 points are in the bag. Aberdeen, no showing any signs of slipping up in the league. And it's no long until we play Aberdeen. I think it's early December or something like that. Aberdeen's next games are 3 home games. St Mirren, then Hearts, then Hibs, I think it is, in that order. And Celtic, very tough game next. So we can only hope and pray that none of the boys pick up an injury, and that's another very, very tough away from home game. We should be used to that by now. The early fixtures never favour Celtic. They're always away from home, and that Celtic Park pitch will be in absolutely mint condition because it's never getting used. But good luck to the Celtic ladies, of course, on Wednesday, Xander, against Chelsea.
Yeah, John, that's actually tonight, I think. Is it tonight that gets played, that game? Am I dreaming?
You're dreaming, it's Wednesday.
I don't know what made me think that was the night. Anyway, John, yeah, good luck to the ladies. It's very tough for them. You know, they're not doing too well, are they? You know, in the Champions League. So, and it's another tough one against Chelsea, isn't it? So, yeah, as you say, John, I think they're fighting a losing battle there, to be honest with you, John. But they've got to turn up. They've got to play the games. They're in the Champions League. They'll make a wee bit of money out of it. So, you never know. They might get a nice wee result against Chelsea. I think you said the game's at Celtic Park, John.
That's right, Celtic Park, aye. So I'm sure a few Celtic fans will get along for that. Some of the Green Brigade will get along there. I was expecting a half-decent wee crowd there, maybe 8,000, 10,000, something like that.
All right, okay, yeah, well, enjoy it, folks, if you go along to Celtic Park on Wednesday night. Good luck to the ladies. You never know. We might pull it out the hat, you know, you never know. We might do it. But Chelsea are a top team, aren't they? The ladies, that is, they're a top team. So they do well, the Chelsea ladies. But it'll be interesting. We'll keep an eye on it, folks. Okay, John, international break. We'll not be back to next weekend, right? So unless something dramatic happens in midweek, we'll do a podcast. But, you know, there's no point in coming on when there's absolutely nothing to talk about. We'll be back next weekend for a wee update, folks. Scotland. Oh, dear. What I'll do is try and put a couple of videos on, folks, right, on the YouTube, just a wee couple of short videos, just to keep things ticking over. So turn on your notification bell for that, folks. Hit the subscribe button as well, please, and hit that like button as well. Right, John, thanks for coming on. We'll catch you next weekend.
See you next week, Xander. Hail, mate.
Hail, John. Thanks a lot. Celtic